Coast. The footage was 11 seconds long. She watched it 4 times before she could make herself call 911. Coast. Valentina Greco had been a middle school science teacher for 9 years, which meant she was trained to observe and trained to question, and she had applied both skills to the situation with her dog and her daughter for 3 weeks before the answer arrived in the form of a motion-triggered clip on her phone. Coast. Biscuit was a Caucasian Shepherd mix, 14 months old, enormous for the breed at 108 pounds, with cream and tan fur so dense it appeared to have its own gravity. He had arrived as a rescue puppy and had been, in Valentina's words, manageable chaos organized by love. Coast, he adored Zoe. Everyone who visited said so. The way he positioned himself near her, watched her, followed her between rooms. People called it sweet. Coast. The circling had started when Zoe turned 26 months old. Every morning, between 7 and 9, Biscuit would orbit Zoe's play area in slow, deliberate loops. Not excited loops, not play behavior. Coast. Methodical. He did 3 full circles, and then he would stop beside her and press his nose to her hair and her neck and her breath. That long, careful inhale, and then resume circling. Coast. Valentina had filmed it twice. She had shown the footage to her sister, who had 2 dogs, and to her pediatrician at Zoe's 24-month wellness visit. And the consensus was the same. Attention-seeking behavior combined with possible separation anxiety following Valentina's return to teaching after summer break. Coast. It's actually quite common in large working breeds, the pediatrician had said. He's checking in. It's affectionate. Valentina had accepted this. It felt right. It had a framework. Coast. The circling continued. 3 weeks in, Valentina started noticing other things. Zoe's morning appetite had dropped slightly. She was clingier during the day, though not abnormally so for a toddler in an uncertain mood. Some mornings she seemed more tired than she should have been after a full night of sleep. Coast. These things did not connect in Valentina's mind to the circling. They connected to nothing in particular. Children were variable. She filed each observation separately, neatly, the way a science teacher files data that has not yet revealed its pattern. Coast. If you stay for stories about what animals detect before we do, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Coast. On a Tuesday in the 3rd week of October, the indoor camera Valentina had installed for general security purposes flagged the motion event at 6:47 in the morning, 40 minutes before she normally woke. She picked up her phone to dismiss it and watched the clip instead. 11 seconds. Coast. Zoe was visible in the foreground, lying on her side on the kitchen rug, motionless. The position was wrong. Not sleeping wrong, but wrong in a way that Valentina recognized before she could name it. A stillness too complete for ordinary sleep. Coast. Biscuit was standing over her, both front paws planted on either side of her small body, nose pressed to her face, to her mouth, to her neck, not circling. Holding position, his tail was low, not tucked, horizontal and still. He looked once at the camera, directly at it, then back to Zoe's face. Coast. Valentina was out of bed and in the kitchen in under 2 minutes. Zoe was conscious but sluggish in the way that is not tiredness. That does not look like morning grogginess, but like a system operating under abnormal load. Coast. Valentina called 911. She relayed what she saw in the careful flat language of someone using professional training to hold panic at the correct distance. Coast. The paramedic team arrived in 8 minutes. The first reading from the portable blood glucose meter was 52 milligrams per deciliter. Has a dog ever done something around your child that looked like one thing and turned out to be something completely different? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Coast. Zoe was transported. Dr. Agnieszka Patel, pediatric endocrinology, assessed Zoe that morning and began the process that would result 2 weeks later in a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes mellitus. Coast. She had been having nocturnal hypoglycemic events for an estimated 3 to 4 weeks. Each morning, as the episode resolved and her body began the glucose correction, she would be lethargic and depleted for hours. The kind of tired that a tired mother accepts as ordinary toddler fatigue. Coast. Her appetite suppression during those mornings was the body rationing resources. Coast. Dr. Patel said to Valentina, "Your dog was doing what a medical alert dog does. He was monitoring her breath chemistry. The compound signature of hypoglycemia is detectable at the molecular level to a dog's olfactory system. He was circling her every morning because every morning she was presenting with abnormal breath output." Coast. The 3 loops per morning, the nose to her hair and neck and breath, the long careful inhale that Valentina had been told was affection. Coast. The holds at the camera in the hallway that she had not noticed before she reviewed the older footage later that day. 4 separate instances across 3 weeks of Biscuit looking directly at the camera, then back to the sleeping child. Then at the camera again. He had been trying to show someone for 21 mornings. Coast. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never ask for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Coast. Zoe wears a continuous glucose monitor now, a small oval sensor on her left arm. The alert system on Valentina's phone has not been silenced in 7 months. She tests it herself every morning to confirm it works. Coast. Biscuit still circles every morning. 3 loops. Stop. Nose to Zoe's breath. The difference is that now Valentina stands in the kitchen doorway and watches him and understands that he's reading a number she can cross-reference against the display on her phone. Coast. Most mornings, they match. The next story is about a dog who sat outside a locked car in a parking lot for 40 minutes until a stranger called the police. And what they found inside changed what the officers thought they knew about animal behavior. Coast. Some mornings, the monitor pings before Biscuit finishes his first loop. On those mornings, Valentina watches him and thinks about the teacher's habit she has practiced her whole career. Data does not become information until someone is paying attention to it.